Let's look at how to draw this example. So the first thing, I'm just going to take it down. I need my starting point. Okay. Isometric, we know we're dealing with 30 degrees. I turn. Right. Then let's see with the given view that they've given us. I'm depending on the top view. So my top view is 125. So that is the diameter. So what I will do is 125 divided by 2. Then I get 62.5 as my radius. So 62.5. Okay. There we go. I've got 62.5. I do this. Remember, I'm doing the isometric circle because they've given us a circle there. So I'm going to be drawing the sort of like a cube there. To draw a cube there. So all my lines are faint because we're dealing with construction lines. Okay, dealing with construction lines. Then somewhere I get the center for here, and then I get center for there. Do you still remember my numbering? Do you still remember the numbering for the isometric scale? Do you still remember the numbering? So I'm going to call this A. Then I'm going to call this B. Then I'm going to call this C. Then I'm going to call this D. Then in between A and B, I have small letter A, small letter B there, small letter C there, and small letter D. Then I'm going to join D and B together. Okay. Then I'm going to use C and A to actually get the curve. So I'll make sure I arc at D. Does it touch A? Yes. And then I'm going to do faint line there. You'll see why at a later stage. But this side I'm going to darken it. Let's see if I punched it. Make sure that it touches. Okay. There we go. This side is dark. This side is faint. You'll see at a later stage why. It's a bit faint there. Okay. Then I'm going to join C and A together. Draw a straight line. All these are construction lines. C and A together. All this are construction lines. Then what do? I'm going to use where they meet. So this part right there where they meet with the B to D, and also there where they meet. Okay. So I'm going to punch here. I'm going to take it down. And then I make sure they touch this side and that side. Yeah. They're touching. Okay. Then not to just move it aside until they both touch. And then I drew that side. Then I punch here. Let me see. Okay. I need to make sure they touch. right in there. And then the height of it, I'm going to extend from here, from the center right here, I'm going to extend it with 20. Okay, so I'll erase this part. So just let me take it up from this point right here, my starting point. I just extended it with 20. Then I do this 20. Then I use my 30 degrees, 20. And then all the corners, taking down, I'm taking down. Right. Now that means from this corner right here, I'm also going to measure 20 right there. So I'm not using this one. I'm going to use that one. I'll explain to you now what I'm doing. I'm just transferring 20, the height of 20. So I've transferred from there 20, from there 20. That means also here and there, I'm also going to transfer 20. All the corners that were useful to me, 20. All right. Now, let me show you what I'm going to do. Watch carefully. Remember, I took open it. I took A and I joined it with C, with this part. I joined it with this corner right here. Okay, this part right there and that part right there. Right? Now I'm going to move it here. Okay, so that I can draw circle again. Okay, great. And then where was the B? The B was here. The C, where is it? The C was here. Okay, the C was there. Right. Then it's not supposed to have exceeded, but it's fine. Then I'm going to see this part. I used this part to get this angle right here. Then I'm just going to move it here. Just going to move it there. Don't mind my shadowing, it's because of my lighting. From here, then I'm going to make sure from there I arc. Okay, arc. And then I'm going to apply the same thing here from this part. Remember, I used this to join this part. Now I'm going to do that. Make sure that it's this part, right? Then I'm just going to move right here. Then make sure I'm arcing till there. Right, I hope you've seen it. Then where the center is at, here. Then I'm just going to draw a line where they meet. A line where they meet. And there we go. That is the first step of my circle. Right. Then the next thing that I'm going to do, then if you look at the top view, it talks about the center of the circle. Where's the center of the circle? Right here. Center of attention circle is right there. Then what I'm going to do is, so that I don't get mixed up, I'm going to erase all these lines. See all these lines inside? I'm going to erase all these lines because I've drawn my circle. I've drawn my circle, so I don't need anything. So now all I need is just my center. Right, that's all I need. Now from my center, I'm going to use my 30-degree set square. And then I draw a line right here. Right. And then after they're telling me, I'm looking at the top view. That square, it's 70 by 70. What is half of 70 is 35, right? So I'm going to get 35 right there. 70 by 70. So where I'm at right here, I'm going to arc 35 there. Then I'm going to arc 35 right here. Okay. Then what do I do? Then I'm going to apply the same thing here. Okay, with a 30-degree. And then 35 that side and 35 this side. Okay. Then I need parallel lines. From there, I'm going to get a parallel line right there. Okay, and then I'll get a parallel line right there. Right. And then move this side. Okay, so I got this side right here. Okay, then after getting this, remember I need to draw sort of like a cone. So I need to measure 35 there and 35 there, just to make sure that I'm doing the right thing. Okay, yes, they meet. Right there is the cone. And we make sure that these two meet. Right there is a cone. So I've got there, not a cone, I've got a cube right there. Right? Now I'm going to be guided by the top view. The top view says it's 70, right? So 70, so I'm going to darken the whole thing right here. 70. So I've measured 70. Okay. Now from there, 70 from there to there, right? But what is the height of it? If we look at the front view is telling us the height. It says that from there to there is 20. We have already determined it. Now, then the height is going to be 45. So I just draw a straight line there. And then I'm going to measure 45. 0, 45. It's going to be there. And then I'm going to measure 45 right there. Right? Now, after the 45, then I'm going to, this line is going to be parallel with this one. But where's the half? The half is there, ne? So half of it, if you look at the front view, half of it, it's saying that you can see the height of it. You can see the height of it. Okay, you can see the height of it. But we need to close this cone. We need to close this cone. So I'm just automatically just going to take out. Construction lines go in there. Also, construction lines go in there. Now I need to measure the 70 from there to there, because it's 70 by 70, right? So if it's a 70 there, then it means it's going to stop there. That means I might as well darken the 70 right there. Okay. Then right there. Then I somewhere darken it here. Okay. Then I take it down. But let's see. So the top view is telling us all the way down. So the front view can only see this side. But it tells us here. So I'm using my top view. My top view is telling me from there to there. it's 70. So I need to measure 70 from here. There is the 70, there is the 70. It's going to stop right there. So then I darken this line. All the way to there. And then I somehow just close this corner. And close this corner to here. Right. But now I need to close this corner. Right. Now remember that cone. I need to take it out. That means I'm going to darken this line right here. And then I also darken this line right there. Okay, but what about here? I need to close off there. That means this line is going to be parallel to that line. Okay, am I done? Let me look at my given view. So I've got the height from there to there. I've got it as 20. And then from there to there, I've got it at 35 according to the front view. And then the top view from there to there, it's 70. From there to there, it's 70 according to the top view. And then, right, let me take it down so that you guys can see. This is my point P, which is my lowest point. This direction right here is my front according to the first angle orthographic projection. This side right here is my left. They did not give us our left. They only gave us the top and the front. So let me just close up here with the dark line because I left it faint. Oopsie. I left it faint. So I need to use B. And then that. Use that just to darken it. Right. Then there we go. Everything else is just construction line. So all this and that is basically how our drawing will look like.